Good morning. Today, what I want to cook for you is sauteed mushrooms and onions. We're going to throw a steak on the grill later in the day, and I want to be able to have some onions and mushrooms to stick on top. And so we're going to start today with a tablespoon of oil in this little stainless steel pan. And that oil's getting hot right now. I pre-warmed it just a little bit before. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to toss in our sliced mushrooms. And I used Baby Bella mushrooms. And I got the pre-cut ones this time because that's all they had. And I wanted you to see how thin. I went through and sliced them again and cut them real thin because I like my mushrooms thin. They came in a much thicker size. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to get these sauteing. And it looks like a tablespoon of oil is not going to be enough. So I'm going to add a touch more. Probably about another tablespoon. Get those sauteing. You want to saute these mushrooms until they're tender, and they will get a little bit, I guess, a little brown, although they're already brown, but you'll see that they'll start to tender and they'll start to get a nice golden color to them. And not only am I going to add onions today to the mushrooms and onions, but I am also going to add sweet banana peppers and garlic. So this is starting to brown. I've got my temperature on the stove on a medium high. Okay. You can smell that nice, rich mushroom flavor coming from these as you pan fry them, as you saute them. I'm also going to add garlic, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add chopped garlic, and you would add them to your taste. I like a lot of garlic. I think I have about 3 cloves of garlic in there, but like I said, you add them to about your taste. Now, as you cook these mushrooms, they'll throw off water. So they've gotten quite moist in there, but we're going to get it back up to a sizzle. And as soon as we get it back up to a sizzle, I'm going to throw in the banana peppers. Now, the onions, I'll throw the onions in with the banana peppers, I believe, because the onions throw off water as well. So I'm going to turn this heat back up to high. And let's go ahead. You can hear that sizzle start coming back up. I took, my banana peppers were small. I took 3 of these. You can take as many as you want. And I just cut them into strips. And that's what I'm going to throw on there. And then I cut my onions into little slices here. And I'm just going to sprinkle these through here. If you cut them thin, then they will cook down a lot faster. Sometimes they cook away a little bit too much to the mush. So I wanted to cut mine a little thicker. Alright, you can hear that sizzling in there. We're going to stir these because I don't want the onions to cook too much. We're going to go ahead and season this up right now. Now I can turn my pan back down to a medium high. Let's get a little salt in here. You always want to season your vegetables or your food while you're cooking. You don't want to wait until afterwards because you get more of a salt flavor instead of a food flavor. Okay. All right, now, these are cooking pretty good. I've got to get those peppers and those onions cooked down just a tiny bit more. But they're looking pretty nice. When I finish with the vegetables, I don't want them too soft, like I said. I want them a little bit more al dente. And my peppers are just about there. So, now that we have the mushrooms, onions, and peppers in this form, right here, and you can have a nice look at those, okay? What do? Do you just turn the oven off, turn the stove off, heat off? Nope, we're gonna deglaze. And we are gonna deglaze because it's with steaks. We're gonna deglaze with beer. So, you get these to the stage that you want, okay? And then you just take the beer. I usually use wine. Today I'm using beer because it's steaks. I'm just going to see that? Pour that in there. And I have used about 1/3 of the bottle. That's all that you need. We're going to let this cook down just a little bit more because I want this, I'm adjusting my fire as we go to compensate for if I need it higher or lower. This is an electric stove. I hate electric stoves. I've cooked on a gas stove my whole life, and cooking on an electric stove, I have to say, is totally different. Anyway, we've got this down to here, to this stage, and you can see there's still a lot of liquid in there. I want to get that liquid out of there because I want the flavor in there, but I don't necessarily want to have beer sloshed all over the top of my steak. Okay, and we are just about there. Now, this is cooking out. Once I turn my fire off, it's going to continue to cook. So I'm going to turn it off just a tiny bit early and leave it on the heat. And I want to cook it down to where there is barely any liquid left at all. And we are getting there. This is about the time where I would turn my fire off. Let the heat continue to evaporate the liquid in there. And when you finish, you'll have a nice, see if I can get something contrasting to show you. A nice big scoop of mushrooms and onions to put on top of your steak. I did have a recipe that called for teriyaki sauce, so if you want to add another bit of flavor in there, you can, but we've got onion, garlic, and pepper in here. And that's it for today. Don't have the steaks on yet, but they'll be going on soon. You can use this topping on steaks like I'm going to do. You can use it just on the side. If you want to use it on the side, you can use it over hamburger steaks. You can use it on top of any meats that you would like. But that's it for today. Mushrooms, Baby Bella. Mushrooms, onions, peppers, and garlic. Sautéed and then deglazed with beer. If you try it, let me know how yours turned out.